Hello, everybody.
I'm not even ready.
Welcome to the Brinkerhoff Smooth Jazz Collection. Hot cross buns on the recorder.
You're not that funny. Alright. Well, welcome to episode 3 of Until Dust Do Us Part.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting so good at saying that.
Until dust do us part.
It just sounds so good. Do you think we should make a shirt with our podcast logo on it?
Or a fucking muscle tee, bro.
Ooh, girl's tank?
Yeah, bro. The ones that are cut down to here, bro.
Because he has lots of muscles to show off.
Look at those fucking...
Alright, well, we've had an interesting weekend so far. Hence, we are popping bottles, cans. Mixing it up, trying some High Noon. Very expensive.
Yeah, I got some Pacifico. Do not sue us. We're just fans. High Noon, Pacifico. Okay.
You can sponsor us.
Yeah, don't tell us to fuck off. We just like your stuff, yo.
Yo. So, well, before we get started, I don't know what Colt's doing, but he just showed you a little bit of our Wrench It, Send It hoodie.
Jacket. See, maybe I'll zoom in on it.
Or you can just turn around and show your back. Maybe that would be a good idea because a big size logo here. Yep, real nice.
Oh, God. Sorry, everybody.
Good thing you weren't facing the mic. All right, we have these all the way up to 2X. Small to 2X. And then I am rocking our OG 2.0 tee.
Mm-hmm.
This is on the back. We have this.
That's just the original motherfucking gangster shit.
Can you stop? Holy shit. I swear he's like, I can't even say he's normal. He's like somewhat normal. And then we go to do something like relatively serious. And all bets are off. Anyways, back to me. Because it's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
This tee comes in small all the way up to 4X. 4.
For the big dogs.
Yeah.
We got you.
So anyways, enough of apparel stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, but my favorite thing ever. So we have our koozies. We sell koozies. These ones I had already, so I engraved them. But we got to zoom in on my favorite sticker here. Brought to you by my friend Christy years ago.
Thank you, Christy Franco, for the ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, dog.
However, I'm not drinking claws, so this is a lie.
Trump.
Okay, so anyways, if you have koozies or anything fun like that that you want engraved, we can do that. Back to the podcast.
Full laser engraving, dustycrew.com, dusty-crew.com. Holla at your boys.
I'm a girl.
Holla at your girl.
Okay, anyways, so sad news yesterday. It was a very emotional day.
I feel like we need In the Arms of an Angel.
No, what song was I singing?
Oh, shit.
I'm not going to sing.
No, what was it? Just tell me that.
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go? I miss you so.
As DC1, our original X3 build.
Don't sue us for singing.
He's awful at singing too. Was taken away on someone else's trailer. Never to come back. Luckily, I just had to make another cut from my life. Chopped off 7 inches of my hair. And I come back and my beloved DC1 is gone. So lots of losses yesterday.
Yep, our first race car.
It was harder than selling my truck. And I thought I was attached to my truck. But I legit had tears welling up in my eyes thinking about the car that never broke my back. The car that got us our first top 10. The car that helped us get top 5 in season points last year. The car that we literally put everything into.
That was trial and error, and that car got us through
3 seasons?
It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. And fuck did it feel bad and good a lot of times.
Yeah. It kept us safe. It kept us going.
Yep.
It kept us cussing.
Yep. And it kept us in this UTV game, so R.I.P. She gone.
Very sad. So if you see a Dusty Crew Can-Am racing down in San Diego County.
District 38.
Go give it a hug for us.
Mm-hmm.
The people might look at you a little weird, but I was hugging it. It had like the perfect hugging spot too. Like you put your arm through the window.
We'll show a video, yeah.
And then you just can hug around like the little like A bar. I don't know what it's called. The
little triangle guy. Yeah.
It just fit my little arm so nice, and it felt so good. And then I had to leave and say goodbye forever.
Yeah.
The worst part about selling it is Colt went and put the money in my account, or so he thought, while I was getting my hair cut. And whose account did you put all of the sale money into?
I put it in your mom's account.
So I get a text from my mom as I'm getting my hair cut, and she said, all right, so I see I got some extra money in my account. Where are we going to dinner?
Quite a bit of extra money.
So, congrats, Mom, on your great
So, fuck
baby
yeah.
girl.
Guys, if you need some logistically stuff done or selling something, I'm your guy.
Finance, accounting, Colt's your guy. He gives other people your money. It's great.
Listen to this ASMR.
Yours. Okay.
Okay.
On that note, we're going to go into a little bit different of a topic. We're not going to talk about us so much.
Nah.
But we are going to talk about how, if you are interested in getting into racing, whether it's quads, motorcycles, UTVs, that's all we can kind of speak to. We're going to talk about some things that you can do to take that first step, some things that you need to take a little bit more seriously, like your safety equipment. We'll talk about some series that you might want to check out, specifically here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
We can reference some outside of this realm, but we can't speak to them personally. And then we'll talk about how you can work to get some sponsorships, how to build relationships, how to maintain relationships with your sponsors, and all of that.
Yeah. So let's just jump into her.
Are you going to be serious for a second? Like, say something other than something, like, stupid?
No.
Okay. Take it away.
No guarantees.
How to get into racing.
So how I got into racing is I was a full dune goon, and obviously I was on the quads, the couches, and I finally got my hometown finally got a motocross track, and I was like, oh yeah. Threw my gear on, hopped on the old Banshee, broke an A-arm first race, went over the bars. It was sick. I was hooked after that, but so the way I got into it was I just loved to ride and wanted to try some different things out other than the sand dunes, and went full into it without knowing a damn thing about moto. And then I got into desert. Didn't know a damn thing about desert. Oh, funny story real quick. My 250R, my first race when I got it after, my Banshee debacle, I got some +3 A-arms, and they were +1 forward. The best part is that I put my A-arms on backwards, and I was like, I didn't tell you about this?
No.
Yeah. So, being that they were +1 forward, I put them on, and I'm like, man, this company, I'm not going to say the name, is really stupid. They put their stickers on the back side of these. What an idiot. The best part was that they were +1 forward, so when I put them on backwards, it was +1 reverse. So they were real close to my Nerf bars. Yep.
Good. Did you race with them like that?
I did.
How'd that work?
It was cherry because not only I could turn really good because of the short wheelbase.
Okay.
But some pros that have been doing it a while figured it out. Like as I was racing, they're like, "Bro, your stuff's on backwards." It's pretty embarrassing. But
they become friends.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But the best part while I was out practicing, I had my air filter because it used to be a drag quad for the dunes. I had my air filter running straight to the carburetor, no air box, so it was real heavy, so that K&N just checked the fuck out. And I had a 350 kit on it, and
he didn't know what he was doing. And look at him now. He can work on things. He welds. We do a little bit of fabricating. So, moral of his story, is if you're just getting into racing and you make silly mistakes, don't be too hard on yourself because you can learn and grow.
Yeah. People make fun of you for you, so you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Just laugh it off and just keep ripping. Put your A-arms on the right way.
I was a little luckier. My dad was racing, so I was
My dad
basically
was
born
racing
into it.
horses, so I couldn't.
Yeah, not the same. But I started racing out in District 37, which is out here in Southern California, Lucerne area. Think King of the Hammers, Ridgecrest, all of those local areas out there. So if you are looking to get into racing, step one is decide what you want to race.
Yep.
Don't go out there and try to race something bone stock. Think about safety equipment. What do you need to be safe so you don't get hurt on that vehicle?
Well, if you're going to race bone stock, just make sure you know what you're getting into. Ride that thing, get used to it. Don't just go buy that hog and never rode it at all, and then you sign up for your first desert or motocross race and go yard.
So,
Yep.
because that's going to be a lot more expensive.
Yep.
So, get your vehicle, your machine. Do some research. If you're looking to get into ATVs, you can always reach out to us. We have lots of experience across Hondas and Yamaha. He's come a long way, so I'm not trying to give you his backwards ARM experience. UTVs, we've learned a lot from DC1.
I can't stop burping.
Great. And from DC2. So anything Can-Am related, we can try to help. But don't be afraid to reach out to ask people for help.
Yeah.
Or to ask.
Even if you're a dirt bike guy, like, I know that we're mortal enemies for some reason, not because of us, but because of the moto guys, nuclear quad stuff, but it's the same thing across the board. You could be racing shifter carts, and it's just reach out to people and figure it out. And just like what Rachel said, the most important thing about this whole racing thing is the safety equipment. Don't cheap out. I mean, that's where I screwed up when I first started racing, is besides the backwards A-arm stuff, I bought cheap stuff because I couldn't afford a lot of things, but I should have bought the best stuff the first time around, and I ended up spending more money buying the cheap crap.
Because you have to fix everything else. So if you have crappy suspension, not only is your ride not going to be smooth, but you're going to tear up the frame of whatever you're racing.
Or yourself.
Yeah. So put money into great suspension components. It will help maintain everything else on that vehicle, the frame, other components. Because if you're sitting there trying to go through whoops and your suspension is just bottoming, think about all the cracks and the wear and tear that's going to put on your vehicle.
And your bum won't feel very nice either.
No, your body will feel like crap. But beyond us, ask people at the races. Not only are you going to get some good info, you might make some friends. You might have some people that play that, well, I've never seen that before card.
Oh, I don't know, bro. Like, I've never seen that before.
Or they're not going to give you any information because of the competition. But keep asking, because you'll find people that will want to collaborate in the sense of like, oh, I found that this works better.
You find some rad people like us. We'll give it all. You know what I'm saying? She hates me so bad.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to get into racing, especially if people tell you that it's a waste of money. If you want to do it, you go do it.
Even if it's your family, just FOF.
Would you like to share what FOF is?
It's actually FOF. There's two F's?
There's two F's.
FOFF. My bad.
Yeah.
What was it?
You can't use it if you don't remember it. Fuck off.
Fuck face. Yeah.
I used to verbally say that,
Yep.
and my mom said that was not very nice, so I turned it into FOF.
FOF. Mm-hmm. And it's close to my last name. Our last name, Hoff.
FOF.
Yeah, FOF.
So, if people are rude to you, FOF.
Yeah.
That's all you
Brinker
gotta
FOF. Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
We made that realization.
Yep.
So if you're looking to race for the first time, I do not suggest signing up for something like Score in the Baja 1000.
And don't be a dipshit and act like if you're like the first guy up the hill at the sand dunes, or you're the biggest jumper at the sand dunes, sign up for a class like beginner.
Yeah.
I promise you, because I went from beginner to intermediate to pro. Same with Rachel, and you don't you're not as fast as you think you are. No
You
matter
could be
what.
the fastest at your local track.
Yeah, no matter what
in
class,
your group of friends.
no matter what class you're in, what series you race, there's always going to be someone faster than you. I don't care.
And it's better to move up than to sign up pro and get your ass handed to you, or to be the person that gets in the way or hurts another rider.
Yeah.
So that's a big
Don't
thing
be a
with
Gerald.
safety is not only do you need safety equipment on your vehicle, on yourself, but you have to have the awareness of yourself and everyone around you. Because you not only have to know where you are, you have to know where they are, especially in moto.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're fighting for lines. So say you don't have that awareness yet because it's your first race, it's better to sign up in a smaller class where people aren't going all out. So go get that first win in that beginner class if that's how great you're going to be. But do not sign up pro.
Bro, don't be a loop out Larry.
Yeah, don't be in the way of everyone else. It's okay to move up through the ranks. That looks so much better, especially to sponsors. It looks better to move up in the ranks and to show your wins than to be like, oh yeah, I signed up pro and I got 5th in the series and there were 5 of us.
And look, you might be the person that goes out and races and you're a phenom. All of a sudden you are winning the beginner's class and you're checking out. But don't just jump straight up. Go to the next class, whether that's intermediate or whatever it's going to be. Work your way up, because if you start smoking people in intermediate,
then you're going to
then you're going to go to expert, you're going to go to pro.
And it just helps you. Also, it gives you the time to learn your machine, to learn your riding style, your driving style, to kind of go through those aches and pains. You don't want to go through those aches and pains in the pro class.
No.
Like, we kind of learned that. We've talked about it in episodes prior, but we thought with all of our experience racing quads and just what we did prior that we would be able to jump into UTVs and that it would be easier.
Oh, we're going to fucking kill these guys.
We did not say that, but we did.
I was thinking it.
We did not think that it was going to be as hard as it was. And so be humble, be willing to learn, be willing to be flexible with the process, because in all reality, we talked about another episode once again, but like our garage flooded the week before Parker 250 and our car was still like not even a roller. And at that point, because we were a little on like the cockier side, like we can do this is going to be just like racing quads.
It wasn't even like the cockiness so much as it was like going into the positive, like, oh yeah, we can do this.
Like, it's not going to be any different.
We didn't think we were going to go out and win the thing.
But we made the decision of like, okay, we're going to push through, even though it's our first time racing a UTV, and we're going to race Parker 250. When all reality, we maybe should have put off that first season.
You just burp?
I did just burp. Thank you. Put off that first season and maybe do a smaller series other than Best in the Desert. Because you'll see, like, no matter where you are regionally, there are the Premier Series, which right now we're not really sure what's happening on the West Coast. That's a discussion for another time. But at the time, it was Best in the Desert. And maybe we should have gone down to do, like, a District 38 race in our car, because we literally made it a mile. Then the next race rolls again around, and something weird happened at Laughlin, and then something happened at every single race.
Silver
we finished
State.
One race in its entirety, every single mile, which was the Mint 400, out of all the races we did. And there were like 6 or 7 races that season.
Yep.
So it's going to be hard. Then you need to decide, like anything in life, are you going to push through? How much does this mean to you? Is it worth the money and time? Or are you going to give up? So that's kind of where we come from. Like, start maybe small and get your feelers out.
Yep.
Because...
Get the car figured out. Get you figured out with the thing. Or the quad or the bike.
Yeah, because if we went into UTVs and we didn't have our background in ATVs, it didn't really carry over much. Because we also thought, okay, we have all this experience in ATVs. We're going to put it on our resume. And then sponsors for UTVs are going to look at that and be like, cool, no one cares.
No, bro, so, we worked our asses off to get what we had in the ATV on handlebars, and we had really good sponsorships. A lot of stuff was free, and at the least it was 50 off, right?
Yeah.
So, but when we really thought like, oh, they're gonna see this, these steering wheel companies are gonna see this, and we're gonna get the same amount of support, and it was like starting from square one. We were getting like 10% off.
So going back to the starting in a smaller series or a smaller class, we went out and finished one race out of that whole, or it showed finishes on the other races, but we didn't do the entire mileage. We finished one race in its entirety for that whole entire season. Luckily, there were some sponsors that went from handlebars to steering wheels, so they supported us.
Lone Star, Holla.
They really
great
stepped
suspension
up.
components, great people.
We were trying to run a 64-inch car. Everyone was staring at us, and we're like, we're poor. We don't know what we're doing. This is what we're going to do.
And we thought that we had a secret sauce with that 64, but then we found out we didn't have enough wheel travel.
Yeah. So anyways, Lone Star stepped up and believed in us and hooked us up with a 72-inch conversion
They were
kit.
great for Rachel's family the entire time on quads. She has a full Lone Star build, her sister does, and then her dad runs Lone Star stuff on his Banshee.
In 250Rs. So anyways, you're not always going to be lucky to have a sponsor that steps up like that. So it would look better to start in a smaller class or a smaller series and be like, okay, I'm finishing all these races. I placed in these races. Better than us going DNF, 13th place, blah, blah, blah. Like, so think about that when you get into racing. What is going to look better? Not saying to go sandbag and sign up in like the lowest class possible, but kind of consider that when you're making your choices about your machine, what series you're going to chase, if you're just going to chase different races for fun, how much money, what is your budget? How much money and time do you want to put into this? Because we will tell you, for the first year, we went to bed 90% of the time at 2 or 3 a.m. and woke up at 6 a.m. or earlier for him to go to work the next day. Go to work, get home at 5, do it again. Living on dry cereal, quesadilla. Never
you guys
went
have
out.
heard that story before.
Yeah, we had no life outside of our garage.
We don't have much friends unless they're at the races because this is our life.
Yeah. So just consider all of that. Some series to check out on the West Coast, I would say. Hopefully Best in Desert gets
we want them
again.
to pull through. Like I raced it on quads. Rachel started racing it with me in the UTV, and we want to like continue with it. Like Casey,
just give me at least one more Silver State and one more Vegas Torino.
Yeah, because they have some of the coolest. Casey Folks has these. He's passed away, unfortunately. Super good dude, and he's Best in Desert's always had these amazing races like Silver State, Parker 250, Vegas Torino.
They're rad. They're a long day.
If you know racing, you've heard of at least Vegas Torino.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a long freaking day, but it is so much fun. So hopefully Best in the Desert can get some races back on the books. The plan is to race Vegas Torino mid-August, so fingers crossed for that. Great people, some really great volunteers in the sport. No matter what series you go to, you'll meet some rad people. We have Legacy out here, which was started by some people that were
Liz
in Best in Desert.
And Donald's wife, and they are amazing people.
Yep. So
we have yet to be able to go and do one of those races because we have to pick and choose what we do, and honestly, it's been Best in Desert because of our money, and then our contract with Can-Am is for Best in Desert. So. And
unfortunately, we were going to try to race Baja Nevada. So if you want to race the longest race in the U.S., check out Baja Nevada with Legacy. Unfortunately, we can't do it because he's on a work trip. My phone just fell off the counter. Don't worry about that.
There's a ghost in here.
But check out that race. Unfortunately, if you're starting out, that's probably not the race to do because not only do you need yourself, you need a lot of pit crew. You need a lot of manpower and support.
Logistics.
So all of that. So we have Best in Desert. We have Legacy. We have Snore.
Snore has been around for a long time.
And that's actually what we're looking to race next.
Like in June, they brought back Barstow to Vegas, which we don't know if they're ever going to be able to do that again. I don't even honestly know how they pulled it off with the tree huggers and the BLM.
But that's going to be a fun one. So that's what we're thinking about doing next on the books because we can't wait till August
June
to race.
2023.
Yeah, I think it's like June 10th, I think. Don't quote me on that date. What else is out here?
There's more.
There's more. We're kind of talking about handlebar focused series right now.
Steering wheel.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Steering wheel.
Yeah.
But like Best in Desert Legacy, they do have handlebar races.
Yeah.
What else is out here? If you want to do Mexico, you have Score.
Yep.
Looking at like smaller, if you want to go handlebar on the West Coast, we have all the different districts. So we have District 37, which is what I grew up racing. So Ridgecrest, Lucerne area. They do some different races like Grand Prix at Glen Helen. But you go down south, you have District 38. You go up north to like Sacramento.
36? Is that 36?
36 is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rancho Cordova
District
area. Bunch of mud races that we've done up there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for like a more prestigious where you get that good AMA plaque, you race AMA National Hare and Hound, which is where
our stuff.
Yeah, where we met. And so those were all West Coast.
She was like, damn, look at this boy.
No, I just wanted him to leave me alone. So that takes you outside of California. I don't know their recent schedule now, but like when we were doing it, they had Idaho, Utah, California,
they
Washington.
Even had some in Nevada, Washington.
Yeah, so that kind of takes you outside of this little bubble here. And then they have West Hare Scramble, which is when we got to go up to Rancho Cordova and was at Hangtown.
Yeah.
And got to race a portion of Hangtown, which is really cool.
There's Works.
There is Works. I always forget about Works because I didn't race close course.
Yeah, I've raced Works before, and it's a lot of fun. It's like moto. It's like a full GP setup.
And you have all classes, moto, quad, UTVs from kids classes.
Yeah, rad. That blew up. So
yeah, kids classes all the way up. Going to the East Coast, of course, you have GNCC, which if you ever just want to go spectate a race,
woo!
GNCC is like the coolest thing that you can spectate at.
Especially for races like Ironman or Snowshoe.
I still got to get to Snowshoe.
Oh,
but
man.
They're really, really fun. That's always been a bucket list race for me. If this UTV thing doesn't work out and we get back into quads, then maybe we'll start doing those bucket list races like Heartland Challenge.
Yeah.
And all of that. What's down south?
Down south, there's the Mid-America is getting big, and they're actually part of Ultra 4. And if you've never done King of the Hammers, even if you just want to go check it out, it's like Burning Man for off-road. It's nuts.
He's not joking. It's a little... nuts. Like, if you're going to go out to Hammers, I strongly suggest that you take the people-watching route and not be one of the idiots out there because it can get dangerous. Like, there's a lot of people that will sit out and drink all day and then do dumb shit.
Yeah.
So please, if you're going to do any of these things, remember to be responsible. Have a good time, but be safe.
Wear your safety equipment, idiots. Serious.
The biggest thing that everyone forgets is like, okay, wear your stinking helmet. If you're in a cage, I don't care that you have a cage around you. Put on, if you don't have a harness yet, wear the seatbelt. Because when people continue to have accidents, to get hurt, to drink, and then or to do any other substance, and then to get behind the handlebars or the vehicle, you are risking it for all of us. I cannot tell you how dumb it is that other states do not require helmets. It drives me bonkers.
Oh, helmets aren't cool, bro.
Like I don't care if you're
your
racing.
Head on the ground or on your roll cage.
Well, how many people have you known that have gone hurt not wearing a helmet
all
or
the
died?
Time.
So I don't care if you are riding from point A to point B. I don't care if you are racing. You should have the same safety equipment.
Yep.
Because usually you will get hurt messing around more than
someone
when you're
else will wipe you out.
Yeah.
And they can do that with your gear on, but thank God you got the gear.
Yeah, so speaking of gear, if you're going to go the ATV motorcycle route, make sure you're paying good money, even for UTVs. Pay the extra money for the good helmet. Pay the money for the neck.
$300 minimum on a helmet.
Pay the money for a neck restraint for a car. Think about the neck restraints and where they sit. Do you want one that sits on your spine? I'm going to tell you, based on my experience, no, you do not.
Yeah.
So think about that.
And then 5-point harnesses. Do not roll 4-point. I don't care what happens. Like, I don't care what the situation is, but if Rachel it can attest to the 5-point is there for what it's called the submarine belt, because if you get hit head on or you hit something head on in these cars, it's there so you do not submarine literally into the firewall and break your damn legs.
So even with the 5th point between my legs, I flew forward because of the force when we wrecked. And
when she broke her back.
Yeah, and I was very black and blue from it, but
and bleeding from cuts on your legs.
In between my legs.
But imagine if you didn't have that.
I would have had a broken back and a broken legs.
Yeah. Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupidity.
So do that on quads or motorcycles. Get good knee braces.
Or knee guards, or whatever it is. Because even I'm torn on that because I've done both ways, and the knee braces are great, but they are a little bulky. But Cooper Webb, for instance, I'm not a Cooper Webb fan in any form. If you know me, you know I am not a Cooper Webb fan. I respect him, but he's a doucher. But anyways, Mr. Finger Guns doesn't wear knee braces because he can actually move a little bit more free. But if you're going to make sure, if you're not wearing those, get you some good impact resistant knee guards, shin guards, whatever it is.
We're not saying to go get like the full setup that street bike people wear, because you don't need that.
You still need to move well, whatever you do.
But you need to make sure, wear a chest protector.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think about that. Get one that goes under your jersey if you want, but wear something, because there are rocks and things that fly, or you're going to go off or over the bar,
that shit
and it hurts
so bad, especially on your nipples when you get roosted.
Well,
you ever taken a rock to the nip?
No, I haven't, because I wear a chest protector.
Well, I haven't before, and it hurts. Awful decision.
But no, if you do wreck, that most likely the rock is going to hit you on your lower back or right under the chest protector.
Yeah.
But imagine if you weren't wearing it. So take your safety equipment seriously. Take hydration seriously. Mm-hmm. There's so many people on the start line that's like, why do you have Camelbacks in your car? Okay, let's talk about that. If we get stranded out here, most of the races, they will not be able to recover you in a timely manner.
Nope.
So we have space blankets.
Yep.
We have fire starters. We have flares now. Mm-hmm. We have our giant Camelbacks and snacks. I always pack snacks in the car, because you don't know how long you're going to be out there. You don't know the situation you're going to be put in. Nope. Racing is dangerous. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So prepare yourself. Even on the quads, my dad made sure that we carried all of that. Yep. Have a tow rope with you.
Yep.
Have a first aid kit with you. The simple things that a lot of people overlook.
Yep.
Be smart, be safe, don't rush into it. Do your research.
Yep, absolutely.
Take 2.
Yep.
Our phones decided to stop recording partway through.
Are we going to actually say this?
Yep.
All right. So, yeah.
Here we are doing this again. So if we repeat ourselves, so sorry. Don't
hate on us, okay?
You don't know what we're doing.
Don't hate us because you ain't us.
That does not sound like you said ain't us at the end.
Ain't us.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we're going to switch from Colt's topic here, and we're going to talk about sponsorship.
Was that my topic?
Your ain't us.
Oh, that. Okay. Yeah, so we want to get in and talk about sponsorship, and this is a subject that both of us are very well aware of, and
this is his cup of tea.
Yeah, because I've worked for a lot of industry companies, and I've ended up being the rider support manager for almost all of them, mm-hmm. or I was related in some way of it. But the number one thing to know and to think about is having a resume. Have a race resume. Even if it's your first year, get one made up. Make it one page. If you do 2, that's okay, but just like any of the stuff that we watch nowadays, no one wants to read a 30-page resume, guy.
Nope. Keep it simple.
The KISS philosophy, keep it simple, dumbass.
It's stupid. It's not kissed. Kissed.
Well, we're going with the KISS philosophy now.
Yeah, so I almost said philosophies. Resumes. What do you need on it? Your name, your address, what you raced.
What year, make, and model.
What year, make, and model.
That's important because companies want to know that, because if you're trying to do some shady stuff and you have a TRX 450R and then all of a sudden you need something for a YFZ 450R, they're going to be like, what the hell? Did you get that new quad? Or
remember, they're sponsoring you, not your friends, not your family.
Exactly. Do not burn that relationship, because there is nothing that will do it faster than being shady with a company just to help out your friends.
And
I love my friends, or family, but guess what? They're the ones not racing and have earned this shit. So whatever you do on the backside of that, good luck, but don't try to screw these companies over.
No.
That's the number one thing.
So year, make, model, if you have raced before, what races you did the season prior, maybe
your results.
Where you finished each race,
end
results,
where you plan to race,
how many races you're doing.
Put your social media handles on there too.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, put, whether you're on the TikTok or, I know. Whether you're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
whether you have
YouTube,
10 followers,
doesn't matter. Throw that on there.
Yeah, kind of going to social media. If you are tagging or if you are posting anything race ride related, that's the easiest way to tag and to promote the company that you're sponsored by.
Make sure that you tag them. Don't just mention them in a comment, because people like me that do the social media for companies, make sure you tag them, because we won't see the comments. Because at the end of the day, I'll go in and start posting things, and if you just comment, that thing is gone.
Yeah, you won't see it.
So with the algorithms and the feeds and everything, make sure you are actually tagging the company in the tag section.
We hate social media, which sounds so silly.
Yep.
But because of racing and because of what we're trying to do with Dusty Crew, we're on it.
Yep.
So from a small company perspective like Dusty Crew, we tried doing sponsorship a few years ago. And there was nothing more disheartening than people saying that they were going to do something and to promote your brand and see them do absolutely nothing with it. Putting stickers on the back of a fender on a quad where no one can see it.
And that's
not following through with what they signed in a contract. Read your contract. Because most contracts say, place a sticker in a visible spot.
Yep.
Wear, like in Dusty Crew, we said, please wear, we know you have multiple sponsors, but please try to wear your Dusty Crew apparel, or even like do a photo or a video of it every so often. We're not asking for much. But other sponsors will ask for weekly poster tags, monthly poster tags with your race post and tags. What else is asked of?
Well, the biggest thing too that I wanted to bring up, just because you brought that up about the stickers, because it's funny, because people that run the rider support for different companies, we always laugh when the ones come in that have the cover letter and the subject of, not the subject in the email, but like in the base of the email where it says, I will put your sticker on my ATV, my dirt bike, or my UTV, and wear your t-shirt and represent your company to the best of my abilities. Don't do that. Whoever told you to do that is an idiot. Make sure that you read the contract, and when you put that in your email, say, I will give you content, because that's what matters anymore. It doesn't even really matter that, some guys get away with it, but content is king. That's how the world is. We hate it, but that's how it is. So make sure that you're sending in, and cell phone videos are the best. Cell phones or GoPros, because it's relatable, because everyone has a cell phone, and almost everybody now has a GoPro.
So it's cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. You already have the dang thing. They take amazing videos.
You don't have setup
even
time.
You poor people that have Androids, that probably has that option of like filming something maybe. But so anyways, just make sure that you're doing that. Take a video, do install videos, do videos where you're talking about it, or you're going through a set of whoops and you show that how everything's holding up and how good that, for instance, suspension's working.
Or if it's gear.
Yeah, or if it's gear.
My gear, it's hot out today. My vented gear feels great. do a quick video of your gear. Your face doesn't even need to be in the video. But
Yeah.
give shout outs to the companies that help you, especially the little companies.
Yeah. I'm G'd up from my feet up. Show your kit.
Yeah. And literally 20 seconds or less.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah, but
And
not
take it
enough
from me.
people do it.
I hated being in front of the camera. So ironic that this is what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
But through Colt helping me with sponsorship, because this was, like I said, his cup of tea, his realm, not really my thing, because I'm going to keep to myself. But take the time to introduce yourself to sponsors. Take the time to do these short videos or pictures. It gets easier.
And
it
these people
still sucks.
and these companies and the rider support managers and social media managers will remember you.
And
you will get reposted at some point, I promise you, especially
Yeah.
if you're doing good stuff.
yeah.
It doesn't
And
need to be a big production. You don't have to pay somebody thousands of dollars to get something done, or $500 or whatever it is. That's all cool. I don't care if you do end up doing that, because some of those videos are amazing, but I can tell you from experience that some of the iPhone videos are the best. iPhone, maybe Android. I don't know if they sell those things anymore. But
Well, going back to like iPhone stuff, so we had the opportunity to work with 5 Hour Energy. I don't even know if I should be saying this.
yeah,
It's not even
it's
out
coming
yet.
out in April. April or May.
So,
It is April.
anyways, we put together some stuff with quads and our Can-Am, and we did some shots and videos with Colt's nice camera setup that he had for working with dirt wheels. But then I was like, screw it, we're gonna do GoPro, we're gonna do phone videos and photos, and half the time those look just as good. Takes way less effort. You don't need to know what you're doing.
Yep.
Just set it up, run it. You might feel silly or stupid during the video. Trust me, we feel silly and stupid during 90% of what we do. Run with it. You're going to make an impression on people. You're going to make an impression on your sponsors.
And the people that are following you.
Yeah, it might be a good impression. It might be a bad impression. Who knows? It doesn't matter.
And this goes for anything: YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the hell else is out there. Just make sure that you're doing it, because it will make an impact, and these people will remember you. Eventually, just do it, seriously. I had some of my best people that represented the company that were C riders, or what is also be called beginner in some other series. So those people get it, while you're not cool. You're not as cool as you think you are. So always just read your contract, do right by that company, and do it well, because you're already putting so much into your race program, and you're traveling and so much money into this. You might as well do right by your sponsors too.
Well, think about it this way. You're going to post about them. That's you showing that you are invested in their company.
Yep.
So when
You're doing
they
your
go and turn around and start looking at contracts for the next year, or looking at, we got like a bunch of videos. Who are we going to share? Who are we going to highlight this week?
And who are we going to want on our team?
Yeah. So if you invest in your company, your sponsors, better odds that they're going to invest back in you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like you're fighting for a job. It's the same thing. Fight for this. It's the same dang thing. You can see this as a business opportunity or a job opportunity, because honestly, they don't need to give you a discount. You need to show them why you are getting a discount, or you're getting free product, whatever level you're at. You're getting money.
Be grateful for it.
Be grateful, and make sure that you give them what they need. It's as easy as that. I know it's a pain in the ass, but this is the way the world is. It's social media driven, and as we all hate that, some of you like social media, but her and I aren't too fond of it. But it is the way it is.
Yeah. If we didn't race and we didn't have Dusty Crew, I would not be on social media.
Yeah, I would take it off.
Yeah. But going back to that, remembering that they owe you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we opened up for Dusty Crew, like we said, sponsorship. And to be honest, we didn't get a return.
We had like two guys, two riders that were.
But what I'm saying in return wise, like we didn't get like this
good.
huge kick up in sales for it.
No.
So it's important to remember that they are sponsoring you, they're supporting you out of the kindness of their heart.
And they hope there's a return.
Yes.
In hopes of that.
But there's no guarantee of that. So whatever you can do to support the companies that are supporting you, go for it. Post, tag, introduce yourself when you're at events, whether it's like sand show.
We say sand show because that's really close to us and we're involved in it, but there's events across the country, even if it's a race, even if it's open house, whatever it is. Get to know these people.
Introduce yourself. If you don't like talking, all you have to do is introduce yourself.
Yeah. You don't have to be a social butterfly like me, but just at least be involved.
Mm-hmm. And then to maintain those relationships. So you introduce yourself. Now what? Send videos and photos. Like at the end of each race, we get a huge Dropbox folder of videos and photos that we get from all the videographers and photographers.
Find out the right people's email address.
Well, that's a good
start. The social
start.
Media manager, or some companies aren't big enough because there's, the social media manager might be the owner.
Yeah.
Like in our situation.
Yeah.
So get those email address and send it to them. Or if they have a phone, if you have their phone number, some guys prefer it that way. I prefer email, but regardless, just make sure you're doing that.
But also going back to like what to do at the end of a race or after a race reports.
Race reports, 100%.
Whether it is, we used to do formal like written ones, and then I would add pictures around it from the race, and then we went more video because it gave us content to share on our page.
Yep.
It gives the sponsors content to share. Rather, they're not going to share a picture of our race report, so we went more of like the video route. So doing like a short video. Sometimes we do it up in our race shop right after the race, dusty, tired.
Yep.
Sometimes we do it while the car is still on the trailer. Do a quick race report. This is the race we did. This is what happened. This is
our
results. These are our results. We'd like to thank A, B, C, and D. We're going to race next at this event.
Yep.
Done.
Yep.
Easy as that. Send that to your sponsors, like Colt said. Make sure you have the correct contact.
Mm-hmm.
Send it to them. Send them the Dropbox link so they have access to not only your video update about your race, but also the videos from the course. Photos. And then they can pick and choose if they want to use it or not.
Yeah.
Because if they're sitting there trying to find content, they might go, Rachel and Colt just sent us an email a few weeks ago. Let's go see what's in there.
She hears me when I'm like, gosh, I just have nothing to share today.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that stuff on deck, or something pops up. It's like, oh, I already got it for today. That makes their job easier, and they do remember that. If they're good at doing social media, some companies aren't, but just keep pushing it.
And also, don't get disheartened if the big sponsors don't repost your stuff. Like when I was on ATVs, I was sponsored by Fly. They gave me gear. It was great. But they never reposted my stuff because they had Supercross racers. Why do they need to repost my stuff? But don't let that deter you from tagging them in things. Mm-hmm. Because even though there's companies that are so stinking big, so the person that might handle the social media is just tunnel vision on Supercross and like the big names. Mm-hmm. But the person that's going to give you your sponsorship might go, oh yeah, I saw that Rachel used to tag me in this and this.
Well, tell them real quick about meeting Austin from Spider Graphics.
Okay, so when we originally filmed this, I brought up a story about, obviously we're West Coast based. So I had a guy, Austin from Spider Graphics, do my graphics kit for my quad. He ended up doing one for my dad's quad. He did my I did multiple kits with him.
Her sister's.
He did my sister's kit. Super awesome to work with. He really took my design ideas and ran with it. So if you're looking for graphics kits for ATVs, and I think he does everything now, Austin is rad. But my point is we are based in California. I have emailed with this guy only.
Never met him in person.
Never met him. We're at GNCC in Indiana.
I have, but she hasn't.
Yeah. We're walking through, and then I hear Rachel, and he introduces himself to me. And I just looked at Cole after that, and I was like, that was pretty rad.
Yep.
That someone knew who I was.
Yep.
Not, the person doesn't have to be famous, but it's just the fact of the matter, like, okay, we built some sort of relationship that we now were able to introduce ourselves. So whether it's you introducing yourself to someone, or one of your sponsors coming and searching you out, going off of that, we're at Vegas Torino last year.
Yeah. And
Simon and JF from Can-Am found us at the finish line.
Yep.
How rad is that?
Yeah,
we didn't search them out. We could literally just finish 500 miles, 400, whatever it was after the reroute dusty, tired.
Been in the car 10 hours.
Yep. And they came and searched us out.
Yep.
So we built relationships with them. We've given them Dusty Crew apparel swag. We made water bottles for them, stuff like that. We're not saying you have to put money in, but we have that ability because we own an apparel company.
Yep.
But reach out, build those relationships, because when you least expect it, it might turn around and they might reach out to you or just check in on you.
Or you get a better discount at the end of the year or free stuff at that point.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to bring up, and we've kind of touched on it, but make sure you read that contract, because there's a thing called first right of refusal, and you might get other companies looking into you, or you just reach out and say, I don't know if I don't know if I can get a sponsorship from them, but I'll try. And that might be a product that someone else carries that you're already using. So, for instance, I had this company this exact situation, a little bit different though. We were switching from ATVs to UTVs, and I didn't realize that this particular company had in their first right of refusal, like in my contract, it was for ATV and UTV products. Even
though at the time we were strictly just racing ATVs. We didn't even own our Can-Am yet.
We didn't own a UTV at all. So I went with another company, and
because your job took you there.
Right, but even before that, it was even before that I had a job with a certain company selling a similar product. But what sucks is that they were really upset with me because I posted about it, the new product, on social media, and then I found out by, speaking to them and
hearing through the grapevine,
and then hearing through the grapevine, and then rereading my contract that it was actually for UTV stuff too. And to this day, that affects me. I'm upset about it. It sucks, and it still brings me down when I talk about it, but that is important. When you have a relationship, a sponsorship, a contract with a company, read the first right of refusal.
Take it seriously, any other contract that you have.
Because that still affects me big time, and that ruined a relationship with a couple of people that worked for that company. So
this industry is small.
It's very, very small, and not a lot of people realize that, but we're here to tell you everybody knows everybody. So please read that first right of refusal. If you get an offer from another company, and if it's the same amount or it's more, and you go back to that company that's been helping you and you say, hey, I got this offer, I want to stay with you, or I got this offer and it shows that they're offering me this. And that is you giving them the first right of refusal, and they can say yes or no, we'll match it, or sorry, we can't do that, or go for it. Get their blessing, because nobody does that anymore. And that was the one time I screwed up, because I've always tried to be very professional and very, because again, they don't have to give you product, so make sure that you're doing that. So my point is, just be the best you can be and read your stuff and take this shit very seriously, because they don't need to give you shit at the end of the day.
No.
Sorry.
And maybe if your contract says monthly updates, you do bi-weekly updates.
Yeah. You do better.
Yeah. Find some way to give them more than they're asking for, because when it comes down to it, if there's you and someone else going for that same sponsorship contract, what's going to set you apart from the competition? Just like if you're interviewing for a job.
Yep.
Take it seriously like that. Unless you find that you're not going to take racing seriously, know that people won't take you seriously. What you put in is what you get out.
And you're already putting in all this time, all this money, all this energy, driving time, working on the
bringing
machine.
Other people into it, especially if you're racing a UTV or something with a steering wheel, because you're going to have a whole pit crew that comes with you.
Yep.
It's not like the motorcycle. You have a pit crew for motorcycle and quads, but it's smaller scale. So just be aware that what you put in and what you put out in the racing universe is gonna directly reflect on you, your team, and everyone that's a part of your
future.
And your future in racing.
Yeah.
So if you're not gonna take it seriously, then know that, and don't expect people to take you seriously, and don't get butthurt when sponsors don't reach out to you.
Keep it simple, dumbass.
Yeah, we changed the KISS philosophy to KISSed, because Colt didn't like stupid. He changed it to dumbass. So the KISSed philosophy.
Kissed us.
We're adding extra letters.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Okay.
But that's it, guys. And thanks for tuning in with us today. And then also the most important thing for us is we're going to do a little plug for our Dusty Crew apparel for our merch. Fuck, I hate that word. Merch.
That face.
Frankincense and merch. Anyways, so make sure if you want to support us, you want to support our racing program, we'd very much appreciate it. Our website is dusty-crew.com, and you can see all of our hats, our t-shirts, our youth stuff, our baby stuff.
We have onesies.
And we're going to continually add. And then we also have we do laser engraving. We have our own cups. We have our own koozies like this. Yep. Not that brand. I'm not going to say the name. We'll get sued. But we do have this stuff, and it helps us out a lot. So if you want to support us, great. If not, that's cool too.
You can also go there to just see other podcast episodes.
Yep. All of our podcast episodes are there.
Speaking of introducing yourself, if you're at a Best in Desert race or you see Dusty Crew on the side of a Can-Am, like I said, we did just sell our first car. So
if we're going down the freeway,
take pictures. We love when people post pictures and tag us.
And maybe we'll actually start sending you guys stuff if you find us out there, or even in the desert.
That.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I finished my thought. You can also find our other podcast episodes.
You did.
Oh, okay, I'm repeating myself now, going crazy. But if you have any input that you would like to add to the whole getting into racing, series to race, how to work sponsorships, if you have questions for us, we truly wouldn't be saying, like, come reach out to us if you have questions if we didn't mean it.
Yeah, put it down in the comments. If you guys have questions or if you've had experiences, put it down below with sponsorship or anything else in racing. Put it below because we like reading your guys' stuff. And then also...
I did get talked about for drinking Michelob, so that's why we switched over.
Yeah.
So I saw your comment on video number 1.
Yeah. And this was before the Bud Light debacle. But anyways, we will also have the link to our dusty-crew.com will be below for our apparel and our other podcast episodes. And then
we'll try to get another episode out in 2 weeks.
We'll try. All right, everybody. Well, adios. And
this is his new way to sign off. It's real nice.
Wow.
Stop.
But we love you long time, and we will see you next time.
I don't trust him. See ya.
Bye.